Hey everyone, just a quick announcement before I share today's episode with Dr. Jennifer McDuffie. And you're going to love my conversation with Dr. Jen. She's awesome. But just want to take a minute to share the release of my first children's book of my Healthy Children's Book series called Maddox's Trip to the Chiropractor. It's a cute book with bright pictures that follows a toddler on her trip to the chiropractor. It shows her excitement and how she knows that it impacts her health in a positive way. And for each purchase of the book, it will be supporting a project that I started called the Unlock Wellness Project. For each purchase of the book, we will be donating a wellness bag to a child in need. These wellness bags will include non-toxic, chemical-free essentials such as soap, shampoo, toothpaste, a toothbrush, items that a lot of the time children in tough situations don't have access to. We're also going to be shipping the bags to flood victims in Houston, Texas, and reaching out to victims of Hurricane Irma as well. You can learn more about the book and about the Unlock Wellness Project by going to my website at drkaseyjohnson.com. That's DRKASEY Johnson.com. Click on the Shop tab, then click the Children's Book option. You'll be able to read a short description and even watch a short video with more information. You can also purchase the book directly on Amazon.com by searching Maddox's Trip to the Chiropractor. But I hope you guys love the book. Be sure to check out my website to learn more. And thank you so much for the support. Now it's time for today's episode. I hope you love my conversation with Dr. Jennifer McDuffie. Welcome to the Unlock Wellness Podcast. I'm Dr. Casey and excited for today's guest. I'm here with Dr. Jennifer McDuffie, and Dr. Jen and her husband own M2 Chiropractic and Physical Therapy in Zephyrhills, Florida. And I went to school with Dr. Jen, and I love all the work she's doing. She is an expert in natural wellness and currently working on her certification in functional diagnostic medicine. She's a mom to 3 little girls, and I love how she's integrating her knowledge of natural health into their lives as well. So, Dr. Jen, thank you so much for coming on. I'm excited to have you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm super excited. I think what you're doing is awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And so Dr. Jen, why don't we just jump into your backstory, just how you got into chiropractic and just into more natural health in the first place?
Well, for undergrad, I went to USF in Tampa, Florida, University of South Florida, and I was in the sports medicine program. I really loved it, and I love sports medicine and athletic training, but I wanted to do more, and I was kind of on a journey of figuring out what route I was going to go. Do I want to go medical doctor? Do I want to go chiropractor? What did I want to do? And the chiropractor actually came and talked to our class, and I was like, oh, bingo, that's what I want to do. That was kind of
cool.
That was it. Yeah, I met him, and it was history from there. So I went to chiropractic school, and that's how it happened. And it's been amazing. My kids, they get adjusted constantly. It's funny, my 2.5-year-old, she always says, can you adjust me? Can you adjust me? And I'm like, yes, I could. And then I'll adjust it. She's like, can you adjust me again? I'm like, I already adjusted you. They love it. They love eating organic food, and they love the garden and chiropractic. And yeah, it's just.
That's awesome. Whenever the chiropractor came to talk to your class, was he hitting more on on the sports side, or was he hitting more on the natural side of chiropractic, or what really triggered that for you, that you really, you felt like it was the right move for you?
Yeah, he just came in. It was when we were studying the spine and spinal issues and injuries. And so he was just kind of talking about how, the body is a self-healing mechanism, and you get out what you put in. And it just showed that it just taught me that there was more to what I was doing, and there was more that I could do to help people through what God innately put into our bodies. And I think he just showed me that, and I was like, whoa, that's awesome. And I just ran with that.
Yeah, that's cool. And and you do have 3 little girls, and what are their ages again?
Gabby is 5. She just turned 5. She's in kindergarten. Valentina will be 3 the end of December. And then Aviana is going to be 1 next month.
That's awesome. And no, I love that, you are incorporating, what you've learned and what you believe in into their lives, because it really does make a huge difference when you start to implement just a more natural lifestyle into their lives. Like, I know that, I've seen it firsthand. I know that you see it firsthand, especially with 3 kids, you really see it firsthand. So do you want to talk about just things that you've noticed compared to like maybe the opposite end of the spectrum that you see in your practice every day?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the difference is so great. It's mind blowing. My kids, since they were born, they've never eaten or given anything to drink that was not organic or whole foods, and whole foods, I should say, non-GMO. They are never sick. I mean, they've gotten sick in their lives before, because I mean, I do want them to get sick, build up their immune system, but they're barely ever sick. If they do get sick, it's like they'll spike like a low fever, and then the next day they're out playing again. Like their immune systems are so amazing. I don't give them medicine because they don't need medicine. My 1-year-old, she's never even had a runny nose. I mean, nothing. And she has 2 older sisters. I mean, we're around family and friends all the time. Their immune systems are just so superior. It's amazing to see. And other than them, as far as health, they know what they can and can't eat. They know what's good for their body and what's not good for their body. They would never in the store look at a candy bar and be like, I want that. Like, they know that that's not good for their body. That's not what you put into your body. Like your body, you only have one body to take care of it. And I was actually just talking to Marshall the other day when we had to flee from the hurricane. And when we were driving in our long ride, we were talking about how it's funny because Gabriella and Valentina, my 2 older ones, they will look at like food and they'll be like, I can't eat that. That's not healthy for my body. Yeah. And they'll ask me, they'll be like, is that organic? And I'm like, yes, it's organic. And Gabby will be like, because I'm not eating it if it's not, that'll hurt my stomach. And it's funny because we were talking about how more than the here and now, it's about developing them into good humans, Christians that are going to be in this world and are going to be adults, and they're going to be making decisions for children one day. And they understand what's good for their body, what's fuel for their body. And it's just really cool to see that they know how to make healthy choices at 2 and 5. Right. And if we educate our children on healthy eating, we can make such a difference in the world and in the future generations. I see a lot of people in our generation who have children, and the things that they're feeding them, and they're not doing it because they don't like their children. I mean, everyone loves their children, cherishes their children. They're not educated in it, and it's not their fault. It's the world that we live in. The TV, what they're pushing on TV and the commercials and the government. I mean, it's big business, but you have to see beyond that, and you have to find the truth, and you need to go with the truth. And it's for your children, and it's for everyone else's children. It's for the planet at the end of the day. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I know, I love that you mentioned that, because obviously every parent wants the best for their kid, but it's like, if you don't know what you don't know, right? So if all you're being told is where the money is, right? I mean, it's unfortunate that, an insurance company isn't going to get reimbursed for the bag of kale that you bought to keep your kids healthy. And it does, like, the system is really backwards right now. So it's just getting the message out there. That's why I love what you're doing, because it's just getting the right message into the hands of our patients and of our audience. So, Noah, so I really respect what you're doing, because it's just, the more you can get that information out, the more people can learn the truth, because they just don't know what they don't know. So, and that's amazing. Exactly. The work you're doing. So, and then incorporating healthy habits in your kid's life, it doesn't have to be hard. And obviously it starts, with us, with the parents, with, people that are older that can help make those decisions. But, a lot of the times it's not that, you hear like, oh, well, my kid's a picky eater, like they don't like this and that. And maybe that's true, but a lot of the times it's not that they don't like it, it's that you don't like it. And it's, if you start kind of figuring out ways that you can kind of incorporate some of these extra healthier foods, like whether that's a smoothie and you make it so good that you can't even taste the vegetables that are in there. Like, that's an amazing way to start. It's just start with a smoothie. Like, that's just one step. And I know that's how, we start our day almost every day. And she's excited about it because it's loaded with berries and fruits, but it also has a lot of kale, but she doesn't know that because it just tastes so good. So do you want to go into ways that like you incorporate healthy habits for your family and how that's,
for sure.
you know, and how they're doing with that?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because parents say like, oh, my kid won't eat broccoli and, you know, my kid's not going to eat those string beans. And that's what my kids gravitate towards, especially Gabby. She loves salad. She's like, I'll have salad, please. And then like she'll get like plate after plate of salad, but it's because that's all they've ever known. They've never been to a fast food restaurant. They've never eaten fried foods. Like they don't know any of that. They've never eaten a piece of candy. I mean, and it's just everything that's all they've ever known is healthy eating. And we do fun things. Like we love to bake. I love to bake. They love to bake. I make their birthday cakes, but it's made from scratch. Like every single thing that we make is made from scratch with organic flours and, you know, the whole nine. Everything's organic that's in it, then we know what's in it.
And that's what, Dr. Jen, you made a good point. It's not depriving them. Like it's not keeping them away from being a kid. It's just finding a better alternative. Like you can make cake and brownies out of whole food materials, you know, like there's ways to do it. There's just better ways now. You know, our food system has changed so much that, you know, if you can make it with real food as opposed to like chemicals and things that were made in a factory, like that's a whole lot better. But I'm sorry, you can get back on track. But I thought I'm glad you brought that up.
No, yeah, exactly. Because a lot of people too will be like, oh, I feel bad. They've never eaten this or that. I'm like, don't feel bad for my kids. They get to eat and everything. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time, but if Gabby came home and was like, oh, let's bake something, I'll be like, let's do it. And we have every ingredient in our house already. We would bake and they have fun and they'll eat it. And it tastes good. It's a sweet, but it just doesn't have chemicals and preservatives and genetically modified materials in it. But yeah, so what my girls love, and they do it every single day, all day long. All I hear is, I want vitamin juice. I want vitamin juice. We drink lots of water. We have we have a 5-acre property. We moved here because we wanted our kids to experience growing up on land and having some animals and growing a big garden. So that's what we're doing now. And we have a well, so we have the reverse osmosis water. And so that's what they drink all day long. And then we have their vitamin juice, which is, you know, greens powder. And they drink that all day long and they love it. And it is full of good stuff that they need. And they love that. And that's what they know. Like when we were away in Georgia and we just got back from a wedding this past weekend, we bring the little packets with us. And when we're on the road, that's what they drink. And it keeps their immune system up, gives them all the nutrients that maybe they're lacking when we are traveling, which isn't very often, but still they love it. Also, what they really love is kefir. They're my kefir girls. We have cashew kefir, and it's really good. That's awesome. We don't do dairy in our house, but they love the kefir. And it's funny to hear little kids ask for kefir. It just makes me laugh every time.
I haven't had cashew kefir. How is that? Does that have dairy? That doesn't have dairy, is it? Is it if it's cashew?
No, there's no dairy in it. No, it's made from cashews. Yeah, it's really good. I mean, they have it in different flavors, and they like the strawberry and the blueberry. You know, all the fruity things.
Where do you get yours from?
But yeah, we get it from Whole Foods.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What brand is that?
It's called Cashew Gurt. I believe Cashew Gurt is the brand name.
Nice.
I can run inside. Let me tell my husband to bring it out. Before we're done, I'll have him bring it out and I'll tell you the name of it.
Sounds good.
But yeah, just like little snacks and stuff. They do something that's huge, and I think is huge for all kids and all people of all ages. It's probiotics. And so we're huge into probiotics in my house. The girls would be like at night before bedtime, you know, so days are crazy and long. And by the time it's bedtime, like I'm so ready for bedtime. They're so ready for bedtime. And then little Valentina will be like, we didn't get our probiotics. So then we'll run to the fridge and we'll get their probiotics. But that's a big part of what we do too, is keeping their supplementation of probiotics up for good gut health and overall wellness. We have a garden, like I said. Nobody told me don't plant your garden in the middle of summer in Florida. So we did. And we lost most of our
I bet it was fried.
Yeah, I'm so mad. But we got a lot of lettuce. And so we would have salads. Our lettuce grew like crazy. So that was good. And then we got a couple watermelons. We had one that grew real big and I broke it open. It like popped open. It was all white. I'm like, come on. So but we've been eating eggplant from the garden. So that's good. So we've still been getting a lot of vegetables and fruits from the garden. We're about to plant so that we can harvest later on in this fall. So we're excited about that. And they take part of that and they have a lot of fun doing that. it's organic, of course. So we go out at night and we have our Dr. Bronner's, and we have it in our spray bottles mixed with the water. And so we go and we spray down our plants every night, and they each have their own water bottle. So we spray down our plants so the bugs don't get to them. Yes, it's fun to do that. They like that.
That's cool. Yeah. And what's cool about the garden too is obviously they learn where their food comes from and like how it actually gets to the grocery store. I think that's super important. And they take ownership in it, like you were saying, and that makes a huge difference too, because I'm sure a kid would be more interested eating something that they've taken part of than not. And also another good point with having the garden as well is the amount of money that you're going to save, because a big argument is, I don't want to eat organic, is because it's too expensive. But I mean, there are, ways that you can make it happen in a cost effective way. But a garden is one of the best ways that you can do that, because I mean, you're growing all of your lettuce and like watermelon and eggplant. Well, like organic eggplant is like $4.99 at the grocery store. So I mean, like if you're growing a bunch of eggplant, like you have to, all that stuff adds up. So like a garden is a really great tool to have if money is one of your biggest like deterrents,
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, even if you have all the money in the world, it does add up to eat organically. But I say it's an investment in your health. Mm-hmm. You pay for health insurance each month. This is our health insurance. Like, we're investing into our children's health, into our health, and our wellness, and into our planet too. Because if we're on medications constantly, that's going into the water, that's going into the earth, that's affecting other people around us. Mm-hmm. But the world, this country is making some moves towards helping it to become more affordable. Amazon with their merge with Whole Foods.
Right, Whole Foods,
so now you can go onto Amazon and get some organic products from Whole Foods, and they're at that reduced rates of what they used to be, which I'm like, because I'm paying for like what the rates used to be. I'm like, ooh, that's awesome. Right. But so there are Thrive Market. There are some places where you can get organic food. There's I've never used this one before, but I read about it and I was gonna try it. Brandless is the name of it, and they don't have they're not like an actual brand name, so they don't have to pay the fees for that. So their products are at reduced rates. It's $3, I believe, for everything on their website, and it's all organic stuff. So I mean, you can get like your nut butters and stuff on there, which is good.
Yeah, I saw that too. It looks really cool. Let me know if you order something before I do, because I want to try it out too. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, but the garden is super cool, because we were just at the food store yesterday at Whole Foods, and we were looking, and we needed peppers, and we went over, and it was like $5.99 for a pepper. I'm like, what? And so we're growing peppers in our garden now. I'm like, I don't need peppers that bad right now. Right. But no, I mean, if we really needed them, we would get them. But I was looking, I was like $5 something for a pepper. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you can grow peppers. They grow upward. They're vertical. So, I mean, you can, even if you don't have, I mean, we have 5 acres. Our garden's not 5 acres big, obviously. I mean, it's a good, decent size, but you don't need that much room. You could be in the backyard, and we do the raised beds. Anyone can build a raised bed. You can have tomatoes and peppers in a small space, and it's awesome. And you know what I found actually? We purchased from a company that they're in New York, and they have organic non-GMO crops, and they sent us the actual little plants. So we planted the plants themselves, because I'm like, I don't want to start from seeds. That takes too long. I also had some organic heirloom seeds, and I planted them as well. Those heirloom seeds are crazy. They grew within 3 or 4 days. They're popping all over the place. Really?
I might have put a little bit too many seeds in one hole, so we had like squash for days. But it was super
that's not
cool
a bad problem to have.
Yeah, but it was super cool to know that. I mean, you don't have to get these plants. The plants weren't very expensive. They were maybe like less than $10 per plant. I mean, that does add up. But if you're thinking about one plant to give you this many peppers, you already are saving a ton of money. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the seeds are really, really cheap and really, really easy, and they grow super fast. So that's another thing too. You can start seedlings and they grow like crazy. So that was cool for us to see how fast they grew.
That is cool. And there's a documentary that I've been wanting to watch, and I don't know if you've watched it yet, but I saw somebody had posted it on Facebook, but like it goes into like just how important growing your own food is just for just nutrient density, because whenever you take a mm-hmm. vegetable straight from a garden to your plate, it has more nutrients in it, and as opposed to a lot of if you get it from a store, which is obviously great, I mean, buy all the vegetables you can, right? But it's traveled a long distance, it's been on a truck, like it loses a lot of the nutrient density. So you get so much more benefits from growing your own if you're able to do that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I mean, it tastes better too.
Yeah, it does. Do you know what documentary I'm talking about? I'll think about it.
No, I haven't seen that one.
I'll let you know. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. So do you want to go into a second on what you're learning with your certification? Because it is super interesting, and you were telling me a little bit about it when we ran into each other a few weeks ago. But yeah, if you want to talk about your functional diagnostic medicine certification and how you're going to be implementing that into your practice and with your patients and everything.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I already started implementing it a long time ago, but I'm just learning more and more. My passion and the reason I was put on this earth is for wellness in children and adults. But I love children's health. Functional diagnostic medicine is going to be, so a patient comes in and they were diagnosed with chronic fatigue, and they have fibromyalgia, and they have rheumatoid arthritis, and they don't want to get out of bed, and they don't know if they can get out of bed sometimes. They don't even want to make plans for lunch. They don't know if they're going to feel well enough to go. Mm-hmm. And, they come to you and they're just like down and out, and they don't know what to do, and they're on this medication and that medication. What we do with functional medicine is we run those blood panels that we need to run, but we're looking at things differently than the other side. We're looking at, why is this problem occurring? We're not saying, okay, yeah, you do have a thyroid issue. Here's medicine to help that. We're saying, no, you have a thyroid issue, but why? What's the root cause of that issue? And how can we fix that root cause so that the thyroid can start working better? What's the root cause of what's going on? So functional medicine is digging deeper and getting to the root cause of why you feel that way, why that organ's not functioning like it's supposed to, and reversing that naturally. So I'm really excited about that. It's super awesome. And, like I said a couple of times, we are Christians, and we believe that God, empowered our bodies to be able to self-heal. Sometimes it does need help. And I mean, there is a time and a place for surgery and medication, obviously, but the amount that are prescribed nowadays is just in an abundance, and it's too much. It's too much. Right. Young people in their 30s and their 20s and their 40s, they don't need to be on these medications. And so that's my passion, is to help as many people as possible enjoy their life. Like, we're only on this earth for a certain amount of time. We have to make it matter. We have to do things to help others, and just to give that person a extra years on their life, or better years. I mean, you can live 100 years, but if you're living just because the medication is causing you to live, life support, you're not getting a good quality of life. So it's just bringing people back to health and feeling good, and, completely getting rid of what the underlying cause is.
Right. And I love that, because it goes hand in hand with chiropractic. I mean, obviously, as a chiropractor, like, that's our goal, is to get to the root cause of your, what's causing the issues that you're having, or just avoiding that altogether. And right now our system is, okay, Dr. Jen, you have high blood pressure. Let's give you high blood pressure medication, and then you're going to take that forever, right? As opposed to like, okay, Dr. Jen, your blood pressure just shot up out the roof. Like, it's high. You're pretty much deathbed, right? So, okay, it's up that high. If we have to lower it, okay, let's give you medication and lower it. But okay, it's lowered now. So what do we do now? Like, what caused that? Like, what can we do now so that doesn't happen again in the future, and you don't have to take this medication for the rest of your life? And, that's what we need to get back to, because that's a system that actually works. And I think a lot of these medications, if you actually read the instructions, most of them say, like, don't take more than 2 weeks, like, because that's all that's been researched, right? So but people are being told to take this for life, right? 20, 30, 40 years. And our bodies just aren't made to do that. I mean, it's just, that's not how God created our bodies to work. And so I think it's amazing that you are learning that, and just how to incorporate that into your patient's life.
Yeah. It's really awesome. It's healing so many people, and it's just wonderful to see people come in and hug you, and they cry, and they say, you gave me my life back. And it's just super cool to watch that.
That's awesome.
And I come from a big family. There was 5 of us, 2 brothers, 2 sisters.
Wow.
And then my mom had 9 in her family. She had 8 brothers and sisters. So and then my dad has brothers and sisters. So we just come from a really big family. And I'm like, I need to be that person who you can come to for natural health. And if God forbid somebody gets cancer or autoimmune or whatever the case may be, I want to be the person who could help them back to wellness. And I feel like I feel like it's my duty.
Right.
So I'm just trying to educate myself as much as possible to be that person.
That's amazing. No, I love that. And yeah, do you want to talk about just different ways people can follow you on social media and your website, and also your blog that you're really starting to dive into now, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's slowly coming, but as I get more and more time, I'm trying to get more posts on there. But my social media, goodness, I'm so bad with this stuff. Social media, it's Jennifer McDuffie is my Facebook, and that's where I post my blogs that go to my website. We do have M2 Chiropractic on there too. Oh, sorry, that was my dog.
It's okay.
Let me walk away from them.
No problem.
I have 2 big labs, and they just found me outside. M2chiro.com is our website. So it's just M2chiro.com is our website. And my husband is really good at that. He revamps it all the time. And we put, blogs and different nutrition advice on there. So that's super cool. And then I'm not on Twitter or anything like that. Geez, I'm so bad with the social media stuff. That's Marshall's end. So he's getting me.
I know you're on Instagram.
I'm on Instagram.
Yes. Let me find your name. I can find it really quick. Let's see. All right. You are on Instagram at Dr. Jennifer McDuffie, McDuffie. So you can find her there. And I'll put
awesome.
I got you. I'll put all of those links in the show notes. That way people can go and just click and go follow you. Yeah. And then your blog posts are on the website, right? m2chiropractic.com.
Yes.
Awesome. Cool. No, you've been doing an amazing job with that. And and just keep up the amazing work, because people need to hear the truth, and people need to, just get more involved in a community that is helping with this kind of stuff. Because the community aspect of it is the most important thing that you can do, is just to get linked in with people that have the right information and just are just there to help. Yeah.
Yeah. And for all the parents out there that they don't know how to start and they don't know what to do, small changes are really good. And once you get your kids used to those small changes, like maybe a lot of parents don't give a multivitamin. A multivitamin is super important for your kids. So just starting with a multivitamin, but not just anyone. Make sure you're getting like a good non-GMO organic one that's made from whole foods, from plant-based. Doing small things like getting away from dairy, just eliminating dairy as much as possible. And I know it's hard, especially for my up north family and friends. We love our pizza, but it's those little changes, just getting away from dairy and eliminating sugar as much as possible. It's so toxic to our bodies, and it's highly addictive too. What sugar does to a child's brain compared to what some drugs do is like you would never believe.
It's comparable.
What you're looking at. It's very comparable.
Have you seen the
it's
stands?
Very real and very scary.
You can get on, there's different videos. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, but like they have like brain scans of somebody eating sugar compared to somebody using cocaine, and they're identical. The responses. It's
very
insane.
Scary.
It is very scary.
Yeah. Especially with the holidays coming up, and Halloween and trick or treating. My kids, they dress up in little cute whatever princesses, pumpkins, whatever they want to be that year. And we go trick-or-treating, and it's fun. And then they hand me their candy, and then we may eliminate it, which sounds terrible and so wasteful, but or give it to people who, I don't know, who will eat it. We actually throw it out, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
But they know that they're not even gonna go near that. But we have organic treats at home, so we come home from trick-or-treating or whatever, and they have their little treats, but they know they're not even going to eat that. But especially during this time of year, it's like lots of candy and cakes and Christmas and cookies. Just try to make healthy choices and try to reduce the sugar intake as much as possible. It's just little steps.
Small changes.
You'll get there.
Yep, absolutely. No, it's funny. On one of my the past podcasts, it was with Mylan Ross. He was talking about how he like went home and like cleaned out his refrigerator. He's like, so I cleaned out my refrigerator. I didn't want to waste it, so I gave the foods to my friends that I like the least. I was like,
too funny.
I'm like, well played. No, but just small changes, and just if you can like you were saying, just start cutting the dairy and the sugar, and then just maybe incorporate a multivitamin and try a smoothie. Like just take a few small steps, and you'll be surprised what that looks like. A few months from now, a year from now, it's really cool when you just start to make those positive progressions. But
it really is. And the thing that I push most, and like if you want to just make one change, which I don't know why you want to make one, but just one, probiotics. They're so important, especially with the genetically engineered foods that a lot of families are eating
and
not knowing that they're eating
antibiotic overload.
Yes, it's terrible.
Yeah.
And so gut health is so, so, so important. That's a huge part of functional medicine is gut health. And it's just, I mean, giving your kid a probiotic, you won't even believe the difference. They need it. They truly need it.
Absolutely. No, I love it.
And adults too. Adults as well.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Everybody.
especially adults, because I mean,
Yes.
you know, kids will heal a lot quicker because they've had less damage, but you know, adults, we've had years and years of damage of you know, just bad information, right? And just antibiotics and foods and even animal products that have been treated with hormones, and you know, we could have a whole discussion about that alone, but you know, it's just all of that adds up, and it really does damage your gut health. So I mean, yeah, everybody probiotic for sure.
And one side note on that, I have so many people who tell me, I'll ask them, do you take a probiotic? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, what kind do you take? And they're like, well, I have yogurt in the morning. And so just a side note, that's not cutting it to help you very much.
And that's a marketing, I mean, that's very marketing driven.
That was drilled in our minds. Yeah, for sure.
But I understand why though, because, you know, I used to think the same thing too. And it's, you know, when you meet people where they're at and they're thinking, and, you know, we both thought that at some point. I mean, I know that I was taking down some yogurt at one point, but it's so processed and it loses a lot of those nutrients that you are being told that you're getting. I mean, it might have been in there at one point, but it's been so processed and so filled with sugar now. Like it has the opposite effect. So yeah, no, that's a good point to make.
Especially if it's dairy yogurt that you're eating. I mean, the pros and the cons. I mean, the cons outweigh the pros for sure in that one. So yeah, just get a good probiotic. It's super important for your whole family.
That's amazing. And Dr. Jen, just closing question that I ask every guest, but if you just had one piece of advice for the audience, maybe it's something that's helped you the most on your wellness journey or with your family, but if you just had one piece of advice to give, what would it be?
Just one? I could talk for days.
I know.
It would be read labels and educate yourself. You can control what goes into your child. You have full control over that. So, I mean, once they're old enough to go to the store, once they're making money, they can go food shopping for themselves. Okay, at least ingrain the values of eating into their minds so that they make good choices then. But for the time that they're in the house, you know, we're young, we have young children. A lot of our friends have young children. You can make those choices. There's no more saying, oh, all my kid will eat is macaroni and cheese and chicken nuggets. If that's what you give them, that's what they're going to eat. So if you don't give them macaroni and cheese and the chicken nuggets, they can't eat it. So yeah, that's on you, parents. Do your research, make good decisions. And yeah, and it's for your kids, it's for my kids, it's for the all the kids in the world and the future of our earth.
Awesome. No, I love it. And thank you so much, Dr. Jen, for coming on. I love your passion and I love the work that you're doing. So I'm excited to share your social media posts and just share your blog posts as well. I'm just excited for people to follow you. So thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's episode. I hope you loved my conversation with Dr. Jen. You're going to love all of the content that she puts out. So be sure to follow her on social media so you can keep up with her latest posts, her latest blog posts, and all of her links that we talked about in the episode you can find in the show notes, but you can also find them on my website at drkaseyjohnson.com. That's DRKASEY Johnson.com. When you're on my site, you'll just click on the Listen tab, and then you'll be able to see all of the past guests that have come on the Unlock Wellness podcast, read a little bit more about each guest, and also be able to click on all of their links, their website, social media, all of it. So you can find all of Dr. Jen's information on my site as well. If you loved today's episode with Dr. Jen, be sure to jump on iTunes, subscribe, and write a review. I appreciate the feedback and the support so much. So thank you guys so much for all of the support. And just like we talked about in the intro, also be sure to check out my first book of my Healthy Children's Book series called Maddox's Trip to the Chiropractor. You can learn more about the book also on my website by clicking the Shop tab, and then you'll be able to click the Children's Book option. And there's a short description about the book. There's also a short video so you can learn more about what we're doing with the book and also what we're doing with the Unlock Wellness Project. If you guys purchase that book for your families, for your office, just be sure to take a picture and share it on social media. Use the hashtag UWProject. And when I see the share with the hashtag UWProject, I'll repost it, and then I'll also give you a shout out on the Unlock Wellness podcast. But thank you guys so much. I hope you loved the book. I hope you loved today's episode. And just thank you so much for tuning in.